Good evening, educators. Good late evening for me. It is late. You can probably see it on my face. It's the end of the day. But I wanted to do this before anything happened to our piece of art right here. Lord knows how long it's going to last. But I wanted to do it before something happened to that and before I forgot about this thing that happened today. So it's a hot summer Saturday, and the family's all home, and we don't really want to go outside. We had a special dinner tonight, so we were trying not to get too sweaty and try to stay fresh for this evening. And my daughter loves to draw all the time. A lot of kids, most kids do, even if it's for a short time. And my husband and I, we try not to say no very much, because we know that our time is short with our 4-year-old. She's only going to be 4 for so long. And we know that these are the memories that she'll take with her when she thinks back when she was little, the things that we did together like this. So we made a family piece of art today. We are fortunate enough to have a roll of paper that was an amazing gift from my aunt. But you don't have to have a roll of paper to do what we did today. Just tape several pieces of paper together end to end if you wanted to do something like this. Why am I talking about this on Tayler'd Education? Because we were able to talk a lot today about setting. So setting is a main idea, but also making a plan. Making a plan for a project is a life skill that's good for everybody to know and practice. It's also something that we do as writers. It's also something we do as scientists, and on and on. So there was a lot of good learning in here. Now, I didn't really turn into teacher today. I tried to stay more on the mommy side of things today. However, this is definitely something you could do in the classroom. So I always try to straddle both sides of the fence for my videos, because I'm talking to you educators, whether you're parents, grandparents, caregivers, mommies. If you're working with children, then you're educating them. So this was an idea that I had today for moms or any of you educators. So this was a family piece. We sat down and we made a plan. We talked about setting, and I gave lots of examples of different kinds of settings. I offered up forest, and my daughter recently had a fairy forest party, so that's what she chose. But we talked about the ocean could have been an idea. We could all put animals that live in the ocean. We talked about maybe having just the sky and doing clouds and birds and butterflies and maybe fairies for that. Farms, and then cities. Inside, it could just be a house where each of us did a different room. You know, we just talked about all different kinds of settings, and then we made a plan. Now, this plan was very, very loose. We didn't talk about this forever. It's not as complicated as I'm making it sound. I'm just giving you a lot of detail. We talked about it. She chose forest. We all sat down. We did our part of the forest. And it just so happens that I did a lot of trees, my husband did mountains, and my daughter did fairies and a queen. And we talked about who would make the sun, and it was my daughter, so she made the sun. We talked about how things in the distance are smaller. My husband made these little teeny tiny birds. So we had that kind of discussion. And so when you're sitting around and this very rich discussion just happens. I didn't plan out all of these things for today. I didn't even plan out this lesson. It's just something that happened. We made we made this great piece of art that we're proud of. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's kind of big, but most of all, we had fun, and we were talking to each other, and we were together, and we made memories. But let me remind you, if you're a classroom teacher, this is still very valuable, because when your kids are maybe at centers, This could be like an extension at a literacy center or a reading center. Once they finish the book, they can draw a picture of what the setting was. This could just go on and on. I also think that it would be a good idea if a child brings you a paper and says, look what I made. You could say, that is wonderful. I love it. Tell me about that. That was a different video. But then if it's appropriate and it's not going to hurt their feelings, that's all you decide on that. But you could even say, hey, where are they? I don't see a setting. And if there's room in their picture, you could say, hey, why don't you go back, add a setting, and bring it back to me, and I want to see it again when you add a setting. Are they at the playground? Are they at the mall? I see people, but where are they? What are they doing? Tell me the story by adding a setting. So, add a setting. Make a setting. Do a family piece. Do a group piece at school. It's just fun. Let me see if I'm remembering everything. Setting, plan, rich discussion. It was just a nice little activity we did today. Why don't you try it? Try talking about setting, put it in a center, do as a family project. Any of those things, maybe just one, maybe all of them at the same time. Whatever, I would love to hear about it. Let me know how it goes. Happy educating. Good night.